Hey guys, so today I'm gonna react to the video that ABC News uploaded regarding how Trump has praised DC police under federal control, and he also has deployed the National Guard to DC. This is obviously a big problem, and this is part of his fascist take over the U.S.
Things out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly, like we did on the southern border. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam.
I just want to mention that DC crime rate actually has been going down for at least the past 2 years. So Trump is also lying about this. There's no extreme high crime out of nowhere in DC. Washington DC has gone down. The crime rate has been going down. So he's just lying about this. Probably to initiate martial law, which means a complete takeover, a complete federal government executive branch take over the country, and that can actually end or pause any elections, any type of election, at least federal elections. So keep that in mind that this could really cause a big issue during the 2026 midterm elections, where Democrats are more likely to win than Republicans.
And squalor and worse. This is Liberation Day in DC, and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States. I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the DC Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control. And you
So if you want to know how this could be stopped, easily the military could stop this anytime they feel like it. Anytime I see a current military veteran, I don't care which branch of the military you're from. It could be from the National Guard, the Coast Guard. It can be the Army, Space Force, Air Force, Navy, Marines. I don't really give a shit. You have the authority, power, and resources to organize and end this. There are hundreds of thousands of military veterans currently. They could easily end this. There's no excuse to just be saying, "Oh, I'm following orders. I'm just following the orders of the president." The president is committing fascism. He's a Nazi. His entire administration are Nazis. He's going against the Constitution multiple times. He completely went against the due process rights that are inherent as part of the U.S. Constitution. The U.S. Constitution provides anyone in the U.S., regardless if you're a U.S. citizen, either born on U.S. soil or naturalized, doesn't matter if you're a green card holder, or H-1B visa holder, etc. It doesn't even matter if you're undocumented. You have due process rights, and he has not been providing that to anybody that's been deporting. And on top of that, he's deporting people to countries they're not from: Guatemala, Sudan, whatever country feels like deporting them. But now they potentially be killed immediately or be forced into slave type of labor, and that's a problem. And people should care about these things. And the fact that not a single military veteran is doing anything about this really makes me, goes back to why I just do not trust the military, just like I don't trust the police, regardless if it's the local, state, or federal law enforcement officers. I do not trust them. And the military is the same way. You want to prove me wrong? Prove me wrong. I give you 1 week from now or less, and this crap now, and this fascism take over the US. You want to prove to me you're a good veteran, that you give a shit about the US Constitution, and that you would not dare going on U.S. soil to detain, arrest, and potentially hurt or even kill U.S. citizens and residents? Stop this madness. This is this is like practically initiating a civil war. Why do we need that when the military can end this bullshit? Arrest every single person in Trump administration, including Trump himself. Arrest all the complicit Republicans in Congress and the 6 justices from the U.S. Supreme Court that have been supporting Trump immediately, and end this crap. And we can restart with not the election this year and start again, and not allow any of those people have any power in terms of be able to run for office ever again, and they'll be stuck in military prison to the day they die. That's how it should be. Easy to be done, and I don't see the military doing this. You want to be someone you claim to be fighting for the country and for the people of the U.S. This is your moment. Back then, we saw military people going, in World War II in 1945, killing Nazis who were fascists, right? Why are you not doing this right in your soil? There's really no excuse.
will be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough and they know what's happening. They've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly.
So obviously, this is
We'll be allowed to.
dangerous precedent that Trump is implementing. I just want to also add that the people I see doing the most against Trump and his entire administration are literally regular people like myself. People who are protesting out there, regular people protesting and educating the community about these things. There's so many just average people trying to do the best. When you see teachers doing this, you see regular local state government employees like me, who's a state government employee, doing this thing, try to educate people. Whenever possible, some people go to protests. Um, they try to provide daily public service to the people in it, like I do. And I don't see people who have the authority, power, and resources and this, which literally local, state, and federal law enforcement officers have all of that, and the military have that even more. The military has so much money, they can, and so much power, they can easily end this. They're the ones that hold the most power at the right now, and they always have, and they can end this fascism take over the U.S. before we have a potential civil war. Why do we have to wait? Just do something. You can immediately stop it. If you really want to prove me wrong, and you're in the U.S. military of any branch, I don't care which one, prove me wrong today, or at least within a week from now, and this crap. Show me that you actually are someone who cares about the U.S. Constitution and the people of the U.S. Not just blatantly, just following orders no matter what, no matter how heinous the orders are, no matter how egregious the orders are to you, you still follow the orders. If you keep doing that, you have no excuse. I don't care who the fuck you are. You can argue, oh, if I don't follow orders, I'm gonna be punished. There are hundreds of thousands of you. You telling me that you're a fascist? Because that's what you're telling me. If you're not a fascist, if you're a veteran who is not a fascist, you'll end this immediately. You will not be doing what Trump is telling you to do. This is a guy who's a felon. He's a convicted criminal. He's been convicted of 34 felony charges. He's a creep. He has been known to be a pedophile for decades. There's at least a bunch of circumstantial evidence proving that Trump is a pedophile. And on top of that, he's been violating the U.S. Constitution multiple times this year, multiple times, especially due process rights, which is a guaranteed right for anyone in the U.S. as part of the U.S. Constitution. So if you really give a shit as a military veteran, with you who have the power, authority, resources, and numbers to end this, do it now. If you don't do it, you're gonna just back up my mentality of why I do not trust the military, just like I do not trust law enforcement officers. Prove me wrong. Do something about it. End this like you can. You shouldn't be regular people going in the streets and getting themselves hurt or potentially killed. You have the power. You have the resources. You have the weapons needed. You have the training. No excuses. End this. Prove me wrong that you actually are good people. If not, I'm going to keep that saying that military veterans, at least current military veterans, are fascists. And they support Nazis, like Trump, who's a wannabe fascist dictator, and he's a definite Nazi, just like the rest of his administration and the Republicans in Congress and the Republicans in the U.S. Supreme Court. Simple as that. This will probably lead to a national martial law situation. Unfortunately, that's what I'm thinking. Epstein is still going to follow you until you're done, no matter what distress you conjure up. Yeah, whatever distress you try to mix up, people are still going to talk about Epstein files. You will never find justice in a world where criminals make all the rules. Bob Marley. Fucking true. I have no disagreement with that. Why didn't he bring the National Guard on January 6th? Of course, right? January 6th, 2020, the insurrection. Trump could have stopped that. That made him look so good if he did. Yet, he supported the insurrection. He even pardoned every single insurrectionist of that day, over 1,000 of them, even though some of them killed cops that were trying to stop them and hurt other cops and hurt regular citizens. How is that okay? How are you following as a current military veteran? Tell me in the comments how are you okay with following a pedophile felon president right now when you could end this? How can you tell me that's okay? This is not someone you should follow as a leader. He's not a leader. He's a wannabe dictator and a true fascist. He's not a good person. You want to prove me wrong? End this shit. End this madness before we really have to escalate to stop it, and I don't want that. I don't want any violence. But the military can end this anytime. End this shit, and let's have a new election, a fair one. That's already been rigged, but let's have a real election again and end this shit. And this we can never run for office again. Keep them in the military prison till the day they die. It will resolve the issue. And I can guarantee you, every ally would be proud of the US for doing that. And on top of that, we probably would gain new allies. So that should be a benefit, in my opinion, in the long term by doing that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you agree with what I'm stating, that what Trump is doing is against the US Constitution, at least to a certain extent, and what he's also doing is pretty much keen to fascism, take over the US. And if you disagree, let me know why. We can have a debate. But again, I do not debate fascists, so if it sounds like I think you're just a fascist, I'll move on from that. I'm not gonna waste my time. But if you like this video, like and subscribe. If you watch this on TikTok, follow us on TikTok, and you can support us on Patreon. All right, guys, stay safe.